A new report out of the University of Central Florida says that there's a big turbocharging going on in the Orlando economy. Is it the new Villains Land right around the corner? Is it Piston Peak going ka-chow? No, it's definitely not. It looks like Epic Universe is going to bring $2 billion this year to the Orlando area without even being open a full year. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter from That Park Place, and here with me is theme park enthusiast Vash Guy and roller coaster inspector, Mr. WDW Pro. Gentlemen, are you ready to go?
As I've always said, Jonas, your lift hills are looking fine.
Well, I would much prefer that those lift hills look fine than those dive coasters. You know, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Good luck, Vash. Good luck segueing off what I said. That was a tough one.
That's right. That's all right. I'm getting to the age where I need arch support, though. I keep trying to imply that I'm a 60-year-old man here and see how long it takes for people to fall into that trap. This story, though, out of Fox 35 Orlando, it looks like some new youth has been injected into the Orlando area, with Epic Universe expected to bring a $2 billion boost to the Central Florida economy. This by Fox 35 digital staff. If you're a wizard, you should carry something around like that. The brief is Universal's new Epic Universe is expected to generate $2 billion for Central Florida's economy this year. The last time I looked in the dictionary, Epic Universe opened on May 22nd. The park has already created more than 65,000 construction jobs and 17,000 permanent positions. Economists say its impact will ripple far beyond Orlando, reaching statewide and national suppliers. We are already seeing the impact of this park in other places in the state. Over there at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, etc. Probably will also hit Miami. A hurricane of currency, though. Universal Orlando's new Epic theme park is projected to generate $2 billion for the Central Florida economy this year, according to an economic study conducted by UCF. They're saying it over and over and over again here. How nice of them to Universal Public Relations. The report, led by economist Sean Snaith, shows the park has already created 65,000 construction jobs, 17,000 permanent operations positions. In 2023, the construction activity alone was tied to about 94,000 jobs. That would explain why this thing, when they were finally constructing it, it was moving very fast, much like Stardust Racers. Vash, Pro, what do you think about this? Let's just go with the base level take here. Does this sound about right to you?
I'll let Vash take it on the beginning.
Yes, I think this does sound about right, because I think they're looking at overall economic impact as generated by Epic Universe. And we know that, I mean, if we look at the earnings reports for Comcast, we know that they've had as much as a 25% bump in revenue, and that's just from their company. We also know that in the surrounding Orlando area, the greater Orlando area, that room reservations or room bookings were up by a large margin. We also know that it's had some cannibalization effects over there at Walt Disney World for sure, but even bookings for some of Walt Disney World's features have also benefited from the opening of Epic Universe. People definitely in the area to see Epic and maybe go to the surrounding areas as well. I think this is an amazing boon for the Central Florida tourism market, but also to statewide, as is noted in the report here. I think this is absolutely fantastic. $2 billion just from opening yet another theme park in this area. Now what we have, is it 7 from the big 2? That's absolutely fantastic.
As an economic impact, I'll just say that, I think it shows that there is an exceeding demand beyond what was being provided. The idea that Disney, should not expand, I think has always been silly. It's always been really what's been going on is that Disney wanted to cater to a particular type of customer. They wanted to extricate more money from richer people. They didn't want the riffraff coming down and riding their rides and smelling up their attractions. That's the way they see it, not the way that I see it, I believe. And Epic Universe has shown that was always fallacious. The bottom line here is that there is plenty of desire to go and enjoy theme parks if you build them in the right way. Epic has lots of room to grow. I am not sitting here saying that Epic is a perfect theme park. It needs more rides. Like, it desperately needs more rides. Wait times are atrocious. Yet at the same time, this is just the beginning for Epic. And so it's had a great start. It's off in the right direction. It needs more. Hey, Luigi's Mansion, we could use you. Hey, Zelda, get on down, and more beyond that as well. So I'm very excited about what Epic can bring, but billions of dollars in economic investment and interactions and transactions all over Central Florida. That's a beautiful thing. And it's all coming because Universal correctly assessed that there was a high demand for more than what was yet provided in the Sunshine State.
Right. And the thing that I will throw in here as well is there's been a lot of discussion about the intellectual property within each of the lands of the park. Obviously, there are, was it 5 lands within Epic Universe, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Harry Potter, and of course, Celestial Park in the center. Am I forgetting one here in the embarrassment of riches that we have here?
Dark Universe, I believe.
Dark Universe. How could I forget Dark Universe? The number of things that were said about choosing the wrong IP. Obviously, a Harry Potter land might be enough to push everything. Super Nintendo World would be enough to push everything here. But the fact that they are getting rave reviews over items like How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Dark Universe being described as one of the greatest theme park lands ever made, one of the greatest themed areas ever. I think that this is really Universal Creative showing that they have what it takes to compete with what people's image of Disney is today. Because obviously on this channel, we've argued many times that Disney Imagineering is not what it used to be. Whether that's a budgetary issue, which they promise it's not a budgetary issue. I don't think they realize what they're saying when they say that. Or if it's something to where Disney has just faded across the board, maybe through brain drain, as they've let a lot of talent retire and attritiate, to make up a word here, out of the organization. I think that Universal here and the $2 billion that they're bringing to the economy this year, this is so needed in that economy, as people across the theme park industry are saying that revenues are down. This is amazing to me to see this, and they have room to expand. And that is really the important step. This is only the beginning, and they have room to grow.
That's the really amazing thing about this. And I think I think Disney understands that there has been a brain drain of some kind, right? This is why Bruce Vaughn's coming out and saying, hey, we're getting all these guys back in consultancy positions and so forth, and really teach the young burgeoning group of Imagineers, especially with these new attractions that are coming to the Central Florida area at the Walt Disney World property right there. But it's interesting when you talk about the kind of macro here, bro. I think you hit on something really, really crucial to the story, and that is Disney has been, I think, hesitant to invest bigly, let's say, at Walt Disney World, maybe in the same way that maybe the Michael Eisner admin did back in the day. Like Animal Kingdom, for example, when that opens, and Jonas, you know where I'm going with this because you've referenced it before, when Animal Kingdom opens and they see that cannibalization resort-wide, as people maybe take a day away from Magic Kingdom or Epcot in order to see Animal Kingdom, and they don't actually expand their vacation days, it's like, okay, well, maybe we can go ahead and slow down on this front right here. Always believing that the market had been saturated with as many theme parks as they had opened. But Epic Universe proves that the world really will support another theme park in Central Florida. That with the population growths of both the United States and the international markets, and people, you know, coming from all over the world, like Australia, and that becoming a much bigger part of the overall economy for these theme parks and the annual attendance of them, it just goes to show that Disney's thinking on this, as it was shaped in the late 90s, was wrong in 2025.
Yeah. And, you know, as far as there are some who would say that the advantage that Universal has is that they're willing to move faster and with a collection of IPs. The thing that I would say to that, obviously, RIP Ride Rocket, may it rest in peace. Rest in peace, Ride Rocket. The rumor is right now that it's going to be a Fast and Furious roller coaster going in there. I know many people who insult the Fast and Furious franchise up and down, and even Universal themselves have issued their own regrets about Fast and Furious Supercharged at Universal Studios Florida. I don't think people are going to be checking to see whether or not they like that IP if they decide to do Hollywood Drift in Universal Studios Florida. It just looks like a fun roller coaster. So I think that Universal is very clear-headed in what they're doing in Orlando right now and expanding in different areas. As 10 million more visitors visit the Orlando area, as far as Universal is concerned, over the next 3 years annually, I think that Disney, again, they don't need to be worried about Epic Universe right now. Well, maybe they do. They really need to worry about where Universal is going to go next.
And the problem is Disney's trying to connect. They are trying to catch up with where Epic Universe is right now, or maybe where Epic Universe was 3 or 4 months ago. Like, that's what they're trying to catch up with. So Hollywood Studios, that's what they're trying to get it to be able to compete. Animal Kingdom, same thing. I don't know what Epcot is except for an outdoor bar. And then Magic Kingdom, of course, all the changes happening there, aimed again at catching up with Epic Universe of today or yesterday, not with where Epic is going to be in 3 years, 4 years. And frankly, I think we've all assessed this correctly. Epic may have their expansions out before Disney even gets whatever they're doing to try to compete with Epic released to the public. It is fascinating to see, and I think proves once again that when Bob Iger says something to shareholders, it's not always true. I don't think Disney was actually ready for Epic Universe. I don't think they've been preparing for years, except sitting on their laurels and saying, they won't touch us. We're Disney.
That may be a direct quote. With that being said, we want to throw this out to our commenters, our subscribers, our viewers here, even the hate watchers. Glad you're here as well. Could you hit that like button? It really helps with the channel. And if you dislike this video, hit that dislike button any uneven number of times of your choice, because the haters give us energy. That being said, drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts. When will you be going to Epic Universe? Even if the answer is never, not ever, as long as there isn't a Back to the Future ride. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.